Bhagavate Uttama Shlokya Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtuke Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namani Gauratveshe Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivas Adigaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. You're all welcome at Sri Krishna Balram Temple, ISKCON, Vrindavan for morning Bhagavatam class. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto. And the chapter under discussion is 17, and the title of the chapter is Descent of the River Ganga. So 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the first portion up till 15th chapter is the description of the descendant of Priyavarta, the second son of Swayambhu Manu. Swayambhu Manu, Uttanpad, Priyavarta and his descendants, and then Rishabdev and his teachings, and Maharaj Bharat, Jad Bharat and his teachings. After that, Parikshit Maharaj wanted to know about the geography, astronomy, astrology and the structure of the universe. It was his desire. So he asked this question. And Sukdev Maharaj said, it's not easy really and it's elaborate, but whatever I have heard from my superiors, I am going to narrate that. So then he has described the different islands, because in the first chapter of this 5th canto, Maharaj Priyavarta's chariot's wheel, they have made the ditches and the 7 seas and islands are formed. So he wanted to know how it happens, what is that. So there is a description of the 7 islands, and of all these islands, the one which is the one in which we are living is Jambu Dweep. We are living in Jambu Dweep. Dweep means island. In this Jambu Dweep, there are 9 tract of land called 9 Varsha. Varsha means tract of land. So there are 9 Varshas in Jambu Dweep. In this chapter, there is a description of one Varsha, Ilavart Varsha. 11th verse, Lord Shiva lives there along with Parvati, and many maid servants but no other male. And Lord Shiva worshipped Sankrishna. And there is a description which mantra he chants and how he prays to Sankrishna. One thing which is most significant is that in all the varshas, 9 varshas, different forms of the Supreme Lord are worshipped. So in 11th verse, Sankrishna is worshipped. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says all these forms are Archa Vigraha. Because original Supreme Personality of the Godhead personally is only worshipped in the spiritual world, not in material world. Therefore all these different forms of the Supreme Lord which are worshipped in all these varshas, they are Archa Vigraha, which is non-different than the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. And after that there is a description of 8 more verses in chapter 18 and 19. Out of the 9 verses, 8 verses are very subtle and not seen, they are not visible to human eyes. 8 verses are not visible to the human eyes. Only one verse, only one tract of land is visible to the human eye, and that is Bharatvarsha. So what the all other varshas are called? All other varshas is called Bhauma Swaraga. Bhauma means earthly and Swaraga means heavenly pleasure. So there are 3 levels of heavenly pleasure. Upper Swaraga, that is called Swaraloka, where Indra and other demigods live, that is called Swaragaloka. That is higher heavenly planet. There is another Bhauma Swaraga, which are in Jambu Dweep, not visible, but the facilities are like heavenly planet. And the third heavenly facility, they are in lower planetary system, they are called Bilva Sarga. So we have 3 different heavenly players available: Swaragalok, Bhauma Swaraga and Bilva Sarga. They are lower planetary system. So this verse is describing the player available on Bhauma Swaraga. Means that heavenly player which is available on in Jambu Dweep. That's what we are discussing today. This verse this first word is Yatra. Yatra means all these 9 tract of lands. Because the previous verse is describing the tract of lands. So Yatra means in all these 8 verses except Bharatvarsha. All the other 8 verses, there are beautiful gardens, nice lakes and the living entities there. They are the leaders of the demigods. They have all the facilities for enjoyment, but they never forget Supreme Lord. So this verse is describing the beauty and the pleasure available on other 8 varshas: Kimapurush Varsha, Hari Varsha, Ketumal Varsha. These are the different names of the Varsha. And next chapter, 6 more verses are different. Described 18 and 19 will complete the rest of the verses. Okay? So what we are now hearing is the beauty and the enjoyment available on Bhauma Swarga, on the earthly, heavenly pleasure. Who lives there? Those people, by their fruitive activities, by their pious activities, they are promoted to the Swargaloka, to the upper heavenly planet. When their merits are exhausted, they are given chance to live in these 8 varshas and 7 varshas except 11th varsha, where their life span is 10,000 years, where they have very powerful body and wonderful facilities for enjoyment, no old age, no disease. They enjoy the best enjoyment, but there is no children. Except in the last year, there is one son. Yesterday's purport, if you have heard, is a wonderful purport. The higher the planet, the less is the production of the offsprings. The lower we go to the cats and dogs, every 6 months there are 6 puppies, and the more we go down, there's a more production. The higher we go, the less production. So this is a phenomena. So now let us, this verse we cannot really recite, so I'll just go word to word and their meaning, and then we read the translation. So what we should now conceive, these are the facilities available for the people descending from the heavenly planet and having enjoyment available there. Okay, now just say, Yatraha, in those 8 tracts of land, Devah Patyaha, the lords of the demigods, such as Indra, Swai, by their own respective Gana Naikahi, leaders of the servants. So it means each demigod has a big group of servants, and one of them is leader of all the servants. So Naika means leader, and Gana means assistant or servants. Next word is Vihita, furnished with Maha Aranaha, valuable gifts, just as sandalwood, garlands. So they are all decorated with beautiful gifts, sandalwood pulp and garlands. Sarva Ritu, in all seasons. How many seasons you know? 4? 6? There are 6 Ritu. There are 6 seasons in Vedic language, but there are countries like in Middle East, they have only 2 seasons, what they call. It's always there is only summer, less summer, more summer. What they call winter, there is no winter. It is 25. Temperature is 25. They say it is winter. So more summer, less summer. And Russia, more winter, less winter. No other season. It's a more winter, less winter. If it is 10 temperature like this, it is their summer. Their winter means minus 30. So when it is nice summer, what is the temperature? 10 on the morning, 5 maybe. That is so they don't have more season actually. Yeah? So what are the 6 seasons? What are 6 seasons? So we know 2, summer, winter, then rainy season, 3, then spring season, and then Autumn, fire. And what is the sixth? There is no English name. What? What? Dew. No. It is dew. It is dew. We don't know the name. That season is dew. We have to name it. Which season Krishna is speaking his opulence? Which is the season? Which is the opulence? Krishna says, "This is my opulence." That is not season. This is season. Kusumakaraha, Ritunam Kusumakaraha. Of all these seasons, Krishna's opulence is flower-bearing season, Basanta. Kusumakaraha, Basanta. Basanta Ritu. Basant, huh? It's called Basant, this is spring. Kusumakaraha. Kusum means flower. Okay. What is the other season? So what is the sixth season? Hemant. Hemant means after the winter goes, then comes Hemant. So after February, we will be somewhere in the Hemant, okay? Very good. You know these 6 names is very interesting. So all seasons. The Sarva Ritu means the Russian have only 2 concepts of the seasons. The people have no full concept. What are 6 seasons with the different 6 varieties of the different flowers, different fragrance, and different really moods. Every season is a different mood. So this is a human psychology according to the seasons. And all these 6 seasons are only available in some part of the land, not everywhere. Right? So, Sarva Ritoho, in all seasons, Kusuma Istabaka, the bunches of the flowers, Phala, of the fruits, Kisalya Shriya, by the opulences of the shoots, Anamayamana, being bent down, Vitapa, whose branches, Lata, and the creepers, Vitapibhihi, by many trees, Upasumbhamana, being fully decorated, Ruchira, beautiful, Kanana, gardens, Ashram Ayatan, and many hermitages, Varshagri Dronisho, the valleys between the mountain, designating the borders of the tract of lands, Tatha, as well as, Cha, also, Amala Jala Ashesho, in the lakes with clear water, Vikacha, just fructified, Vividha, varieties, Nava Vanaroha Amoda, by the fragrance of the lotus flowers, Mudita, enthused, Rajahamsa, great swans, Jalakukuta, waterfowl, Karandava, aquatic bird called Kandavas, Sarasa, cranes, Chakravakadibhi, by the birds known as Chakravaks, and so on. Madhukaraha Makraha, Madhukara Nikra Akriti, by the bumblebees, Upakunjiteshu, which were made so resound, Jalakrida Adibhi, such as water sports, vichitra, various, vinodahi, by pastime, sulalita, attractive, surasundrina, of the woman of the demigods, kama, from lust, kalila, born, vilasa, pastime, hasa, smiling, lalit, avaloka, by playful glances, akrishta manaha, whose minds are attracted, drishtyaha, and whose vision is attracted, sweram, very freely, virhanti, engage in sportive enjoyment. Welcome, the President Panchagoda Ji Hari Bol. Shri Gaur Nitai ki Jai. So when we are reading these words, is anything really resounding in your mind? No? 6 Goswami Ashtakam something? No. Kujanta Kokila Hansa Sarasa Vitapa, this is it? So the beauty of Vrindavan is more higher. But this is the beauty of the Bhoma Swarga, right? So these words, just something will spark in your mind. That this is 6 Goswami Ashtak is also the beautiful description. So now is the translation by Srila Prabhupada. In each of those tracts of land, 8 verses, there are many gardens filled with flowers and fruits according to the season, and there are beautifully decorated hermitages as well. Between the great mountains demarcating the borders of those lands lie enormous lakes of clear water filled with newly grown lotus flowers. Aquatic birds such as swan, ducks, water chickens, and cranes become greatly excited by the fragrance of the lotus flowers. And the charming sound of bumblebee fill the air. Inhabitants of those lands are important leaders among the demigods. Always attended by the respective servants, they enjoy life in gardens alongside the lakes. In this pleasing situation, the wives of the demigods smile playfully at their husband, not on others. The most important translation is Pakka. Smile playfully at their husband and look upon them with lusty desire. All the demigods and their wives are constantly supplied with sandalwood pulp and flower garlands by their servants. In this way, all the residents of 8 heavenly verses enjoy, attracted by activities of the opposite sex. So this is the translation of this verse 13, chapter 17, canto 5th. Very nice, everything. So the enjoyment needs, what we need for enjoyment? Nice lakes with clear water, the flowers, fruits, and servants to assist, and the opposite sex to give pleasure. This is what the enjoyment here described, right? So are there somewhere lakes now? They are lacking. The lakes are lacking. You are living in the pigeonhole up in the flat where there is no lake, everything is lacking. Is there flower? No flower. Is there trees? No trees, all trees are cut. So all the natural beauty which is here is no more seen. Even Vrindavan was so beautiful as in the time of Goswamis. Now all the big buildings are coming from all sides, and when we are turning, usually in a path, and we see maybe Krishna is playing somewhere, but now when we turn from some building only, there's a horn, and the vehicles are just making crazy to go. You go to the Loi Bazaar, how much time it takes even on rickshaw. It has become really, there's no enjoyment anymore, even spiritual. So this is something which is natural. Now Srila Prabhupada's purport. Here is a description of the lower heavenly planets, upper heavenly planets, lower, and then Bilva Sarga. And when we read the Bilva Sarga, they say they have facilities more than Indra. And they have no fear of anybody except the Sudarshan Chakra. And they enjoy like anything. And the conclusion is, one, the more facilities, the less one becomes spiritually inclined. The more facilities, less in spiritual inspiration and inclination. So, the inhabitants of those planets enjoy life in a pleasing atmosphere of clear lakes filled with newly grown lotus flowers and garden filled with fruits. They have not to go in a market to buy fruits. Their fruit is right next door. Come out and in your garden you have all the seasonal fruits. There is no description of refrigerator in their house. There is no description of the air conditioner. Their beauty is just natural. Fruit right next door. Vegetable, just go out and get it from your garden. And if you want really some cool, go sit near to the lake. And really, if you want sun bath, just sit up on a mountain. Just natural, everything. There's no artificial thing. The whole description is natural enjoyment. So, fruits, flowers, various kinds of birds and humming bees. In that atmosphere, they enjoy the life with their very beautiful wives, who are always sexually stimulated. Nonetheless, they are all devotees of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead, as will be explained in subsequent verses. This is a very important statement. Though they have all the enjoyment, but they are the devotees of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. Subsequent verses means in chapter 18 and 19 we will come across all the residents of these 8 tract of lands. They worship some form of Vishnu and they are great devotees. They are all great devotees. They worship all these. The beauty of all these 8 planets, the 8 Varsha is they worship Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu. That is the beauty. In islands like Jambu Deep, Ramyak Deep, and what are the other names of the Deep? Samal Deep. There is no worship of Supreme Personality of the Godhead. There worship of the Tattva. Fire Tattva is worship. Water Tattva. There is a worship of the Tattva. There is no Supreme Lord's worship there. But the tract of land, there is a worship of Supreme Personality of God. They are all devotees of the Supreme Lord. Prabhupada says, though they have all enjoyment, but they are devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So it means, for devotional service, if there are facilities, they can be used for the service of the Lord. The good facilities can be used when we read the description of beautifully decorated Mother Yashoda churning the butter, a silk sari with the natural flowers. The color of the flower is matching to the color of Krishna, and that sari is made from atlas. This is called alasi flowers, and she is decorated with nice earrings, bangles, and there is a nice silver belt around the neck. So very beautifully decorated. But what she was doing? She was serving Krishna. She was churning the yogurt to get butter to please Krishna. So it is not that we don't need to be decorated, but we should be decorated to please Krishna, not really to attract some other person. That is most important. In this, all they are decorated, but their purpose is simply ultimately that they please the Supreme Lord. So there are in Chaitanya Charitamrita we have Pundrik Vidyanidhi, having all the nice, wonderful opulences. And among these opulences, he was the one of the greatest devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He has a very opulent lifestyle. And even Gadadhar Pandit was really struck, wonder how can he be a great devotee, but he is a great devotee. So this is the description that devotees are in a different, all the demigods are devotees. The early verses say all the demigods are the devotees of the Supreme Lord. They serve the Lord Vishnu. And all the demons are all the devotees of demigods. This is the difference between the two. All the devotees are, all the demigods are devotees of Lord Vishnu. They are Vaishnavas. And all the demons are devotees of demigod. Usually Shiva, Brahma, like Hiranyakashipu, or Durga, they worship these demigods, but they are envious of Supreme Lord. So only one thing we have to really keep in our mind, all demigods are Vaishnavas, because they are serving Lord Vishnu. They should not be offended. Those who worship them, they have a less intelligence, not the demigod have a less intelligence. Worshippers are with less intelligence, not demigods. They are Vaishnavas. Offending demigod is a Vaishnava aparad. They are all Vaishnavas. So here they have all facilities for enjoyment, very natural. Nonetheless, they are all devotees of Supreme Personality of Godhead. As will be explained in the subsequent verses, the inhabitants of this earth also desire such heavenly enjoyment. Now Prabhupada is speaking. The people on this earth also want to enjoy heavenly pleasures. They have a desire. They want to enjoy more. Villagers want to come in cities. The people in small cities, they want to go to the bigger cities. And from bigger cities, they want to go to the other countries where there is a more enjoyment. The whole race is to get where is more enjoyment. This is a material calculation. And spiritually, the people from America come and live in the Vrindavan. They have a different concept. So Panchagoda has come all the way from America to live in Vrindavan. Dhinmadhu is living here for now over 25, 30 years. So see the opposite. Everybody from here, they want to go for higher enjoyment. So from America, they think to go to the moon. Now they are not able to go to the moon, so they are thinking just to have some other places to go. They are trying to go to the Mars or some other places. But ultimately, even they go to the Swarg, they come on these planets, they enjoy. So the enjoying mentality is there. Now there's a one line to remember. As long as we have a separate enjoying mentality, there will be a conditioned life. Enjoying mentality means conditioned soul. Service attitude means liberated soul. This is the classification. Even in one of the verses we are discussing, chanting holy name and honoring prasad in service mood will immediately elevate the devotee in Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada has put in some small word, honoring prasad in service mood. This one word is so heavy, we are going in prasad like going to enjoy. Oh my, where is my rasgulla? So our mood of approaching prasad is akraman. Akraman means who will reach first to the things. Service attitude. The word is service attitude. So this is the bottom line. Service mood elevate the devotee. Enjoying mentality always keep soul conditioned. So this service attitude to teach this service attitude, Supreme Lord first expanded himself as a Balaram to teach us how to serve. First Krishna expanded as Balaram. Why? To teach us how to serve. And he is a servitude God. He is here to teach us how to serve. And that who is next getting power from the Balaram is spiritual master. And what is his business? Every day what we are singing in the morning, Chaturvidha Shri Bhagavat Prasado, Shri Vigraharadhana Nitya Nana. He is engaging us in the service of the Supreme Lord. So the whole process is, Srila Prabhupada writes, Nanda Baba is serving Krishna, Yashoda Maya is serving Krishna, Gopis are serving Krishna, Radharani is serving Krishna, Balaram is serving Krishna. So everybody is serving Krishna. There is only service which attracts the Supreme Lord. Enjoying means competitor of Supreme Lord. He is the only enjoyer. He is the only enjoyer. Bhoktaram yagya tapasam. He is the only enjoyer. Anybody who wants to enjoy, it means he is a competitor. So this is something very interesting that they all feel. Prabhupada writes one wonderful line here. The inhabitants of the earth also desire such heavenly enjoyment, but when they somehow or other achieve imitation pleasure, not heavenly pleasure, but imitation pleasure, like sex and intoxication. They have intoxication also there, Varuni, Somaras. They have intoxication, but they are not falling in the sewages. They don't have a hang out something like hangover. No. So they want pleasure here, sex and intoxication. They completely forget the service of the Supreme Lord. When they get enjoyment on the earth, they forget the Supreme Lord. The higher planets, they get enjoyment, they always remember. What Prabhupada's last word. In heavenly planet, however, although these residents enjoy superior sense gratification, they never forget their position as eternal servants of the Supreme Being. They never forget that they are the eternal servant of Supreme Being. Though they have more facilities for enjoyment, they are provided with so many wonderful facilities, natural for enjoyment, but they never forget that we are the eternal servant of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So what we should learn now? "20 years back, here, there was only one telephone in guest house, reception. 4 o'clock after Mangal Aarti, all senior person used to go there and just get one call from overseas for one. There was only one cooler in Bhuvaneshwar's room in first floor of Gurukul. Then gradually the facilities increases in our own. But only thing is that we never forget that we are servant of Krishna Balaram, so no problem. This is the facilities has increased so much, but we never forgot that we have to serve the Supreme Lord. Same opulently we are serving the Supreme Lord. Same way we are cleaning everything. So facilities may increase, but we should never forget that we are here to serve. Facilities always provided to the devotees to have an opulent service of the Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord, all the first class things should be offered to the Supreme Lord. Everything first class should be for the Supreme Lord. That should be the metal. Indradev Maharaj, once he told that when he was president in France, all the time he was meditating, how can I serve this Supreme Lord with first class paraphernalia, first class prasad, bhoga and first class outfit, and then all the problems of the temple they will solve. Just focus on how can wonderfully and opulently we serve the Supreme Lord, then he will solve all the problems. So this opulence, with all these opulences, these people with enjoyment never forget that we are eternal servant of the Supreme Lord. So this one line is a bottom line in a devotee's life. We are eternal servant, not Supreme Lord. For us, Mahaprabhu has said, Gopi Bhartahu Pad Kamalayor Das 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 Anudas. We are the servant of servants of Sri Radha Gopinath. So we should have just keep this mentality, and then all enjoyments are never hindrance. Materially, enjoyments brings forgetfulness of our relation with Supreme Lord. Spiritually, opulences, only every opulence, even devotee have, it belongs to Krishna. When Prabhupada was once asked by a newspaper reporter, why this big Rolls-Royce car is coming to pick you up, he said, what is a bunch of iron for a representative of Supreme Lord? There should be some Viman coming, Vaikuntha Viman. What is this your car you are speaking of? The representative of God, they have all the beautiful space aeroplanes. This is nothing. So the first class service should be offered to the representative of the Supreme Lord also. First class service. This mentality is very important. I remember only once we wanted to purchase one plate for the spiritual master at that time, and Giriraj Swami took 5 hours to select one plate in the whole market. I was just walking with him. This is not good. This is this. So this feeling that how first class thing we should offer, that consciousness attract actually Supreme Lord, that though he has all the facilities, but he's never forgetting me. So this verse for us, information is that there are other planets, there is more enjoyment even on this earth which are not seen by us, and we are imitating those. But teaching for us is that facilities, if Krishna provides, then we should never forget our service attitude, and we can use all these facilities in the service of Supreme Lord. There's no problem. The beautiful temple, it means we are living in beautiful palace. What is the problem? Servant of a prime minister live in a same prime minister house, and he eats all what is cooked in the prime minister kitchen. And the driver of the prime minister is sitting on the front seat of the car. He is sitting on the same car. So servant of the Supreme Lord has all the facilities, but he never forget that we are servant. That is only the one line we remember in our life, then there's no problem. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Any question or comment? Yes, Prabhuji.
I have a question from the last verse, but it is connected.
What is last verse? The last verse says 10,000 years they enjoy there, okay? Srila Prabhupada says the purpose says first there is no sexual concept in the spiritual world, but however if there is some, but there is no children. That's what the one statement is there. There is no children there. So what is your point? Huh? Sorry?
Question remains that how can there be a sexual relationship in the spiritual world?
I think Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami has a full topic that whatever is in this world is a reflection of the spiritual world. But the concept of sex we have is a perverted nature of the pure relationship in the spiritual world. The word there is also kam. Kamada gopyaha, we know this word by kama means lusty desire. Gopis got perfection. But that is not for self-enjoyment. That is to give enjoyment to the Krishna. For gopis, this is like that. So in a spiritual world, there is a love in pure form, and that is perverted in material world as a lust. That's what the explanation Prabhupada has given. Love is there. If there is no love, then what we are looking for? Love of God. We are looking for love of God. And not only love of God, love to all those devotees who are serving God. But this concept of sex, where people ask this question, is in the spiritual world there is sex? Yes?
One point, Arjuna went to one of the person for collecting money before Aswamedh Yajna of Maharaj Yudhishthira. But he was not allowed to enter that verse with the plea, you have no power to enter here. We can donate something for the Aswamedh Yajna, but you have no power. So the question arises, we cannot see or we are not allowed to see. We are not entitled to see the other person.
Well, we have no qualification to go there. The route to go there is go to the heavenly planet and then the road goes there. There is no direct approach from here to these all 8 verses. The only approach is from the heavenly planet. Arjuna was a celestial being, so he can do that. He went to all the way to the upper heavenly planet, so there is no problem. But his question remains unsolved. There is no sex. Prabhupada said there is no sexual relationship. This first line is like, there is no sexual relationship like in material world. This is the first line. Second part, if there is, Prabhupada said if there is, but there are no children. There is an end second line. It means there is in a pure form where there is no continuity of things. But there may be some more research can be done on that. But the people are really very much frustrated. If there is no enjoyment there, then what we'll do there? Even Taplok, Janalok, Maharlok, only brahmacharis are living. These planets only tapasvis are, they are called Taplok. So if there is no sex even on these planets, so what to speak of the higher planets where there is no need of this thing. They are satisfied there. They are living there and jubilantly chanting Hari Bol, no problem. If we forget the glorification of Lord, then we will be we need a lower enjoyment if we forget the higher enjoyment. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. These planets are not for us to go. Don't just read this and go further. Only when we read the Bharat verse, then we know what is our responsibility. This information is simply given that don't go there. Somebody asked me once, Bhagavad Gita 6th chapter, Krishna says, Arjuna says, I cannot practice this Ashtanga Yoga, so why there is this chapter? I said, because Krishna wants to tell you, don't waste your time in this. This is also important, that this is given to you, that you should not waste time in this, go further. There are something given just to avoid those and go further. You are not, it's not good for Arjuna, then how can you practice it? So it means you should not waste your time in doing Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki. Go Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki.